Look at that. Almost gets it buried. About half of it might be sticking out right now. But we've seen that a lot coming down that right side. But great weight, great line there on the draw attempt. And PEI is in 3 right now. And could we be seeing a long run back here? Is that what they're looking at? So we're going to have a timeout here for New Brunswick here. Coach not too happy. Not too happy with what the call was on the long run back. Very improbable shot. And they're going to chat things over here, try and figure out a better solution. Again, both teams do have 2 timeouts if they so choose, and those 30 minutes of thinking time. New Brunswick's right on the call right now, just above 15 minutes. You almost used half of it so far, as well as PEI. Both teams strategize very well.
It's red, isn't it? Usually goes automatically.
Decision right now, this PEI is in 3 right now. Trying to figure out how they can close down the damage here. Make sure, though, you come back and join us at 2:30 on John number 4, as the host team will be going against Nova Scotia here in the men's action here at the Montague Curling Club on Line Community 1, your local leader in sports webcasting in Atlantic Canada.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but yesterday
Looks like maybe a draw in. Getting behind, because all they have to do is get a piece of the 4. If they do get it buried, it's going to be tough for PEI to get to it now because of those guards up atop. So looks to be that is the call. We'll verify in just a few moments.
box up to the top corner. I hope that didn't mess something up.
Yeah, that's okay. So it will be a draw and behind, trying to get behind the 2 yellow. So this has some weight to it, though. This has some weight to it. How far back will it go?
Well, that one's right. This one was
Let's see Wilkins. He's going to brush this one back, and that's going to go all the way to the back 12, coming a little heavy on the draw. And PEI's in 3 right now. Noticing that hole, looks like they want to close up that left side. And they're going to call it timeout themselves.
timeout, Ice 3.
Coach Lori Robinson out chatting with the team right here. It's in 3 right now in a pretty good spot, but they want to make sure, because they could get a good opportunity for a big steal here. They want to close down any options. Let's see what they decided on their call here. Most probably close up that left side. And that seems to be the call, because they're New Brunswick's much more comfortable coming down the left side, and they're going to try and close that off. They don't want to sit shot stone, though. They want to sit maybe second or third shot and keep that 1 in the 8 foot as shot stone. So they're going to try and close up the left side. Leslie, final shot here in the fourth end. This one really is starting to break really fast. And that one over curled for them. Didn't close off that left side, so it gives Marine a second opportunity to try and draw in against 3 yellows for the single. Uncharacteristic mistake coming from Noy. Just seemed like he had the weight down perfectly. It just curled much more than they expected it to. So if it did end up with that weight where they wanted to, that would have closed off that area as well. But still, PEI sitting in a pretty good position. The pressure is on New Brunswick. Over on sheet number 2, looks like New Brunswick is holding on to the 3-0 lead after 4 ends against PEI in the women's action. This one coming in with some weight. Starting to slow down. Waiting for it to curl. Needs it to curl a little more. Did it over break? Really starting to break. Can they still hold it? Get a bye. Will it go for shot? Unbelievable. It will go for shot. Great shot coming in there from Liam Marine. Able to save it. Right after the hog line, it just started to break like crazy. And their sweepers jumped on it quickly, able to hold it, and they still are able to pick up the single here. So this will tie the game at the 4-end break. You're here watching the Under-18 Atlantic Curling Championships here at the Montague Curling Club. The score is 2-2 between PEI and New Brunswick. Don't go anywhere. We're just going to have a couple-minute break. We'll see you guys in just a bit.
How are you? Not too bad for a guy whose age is higher than his IQ. I'm hanging in there. You're winning or losing. You guys are... Okay. Not bad, though.
Hello and welcome back to the Atlantic Under 18 Curling Championships here in Montague, PEI. We have a great game going on right now here on draw number 3 on day 2 action as the New Brunswick men's team coming in with a 1-0 record going against the 0-2 PEI squad, looking to see if they can redeem themselves, trying to figure out a way if they can get into that gold medal or consolation game still. But PEI has shown very well so far. It's 2-2 here. And PEI will have the hammer, as New Brunswick was forced to pick up the single in 4. If you're just joining us, 2 singles for New Brunswick and a deuce coming in from PEI with the 1 blank end, as we're going to start the 5th end here with New Brunswick black jackets, the yellow shirts with the red stones. And it will be their lead, Brendan Jones, starting us off here in the second half. Curling at the Thistle St. Andrews Club in St. John. And they'll be going against this PEI team coming out of the Alberton Curling Club in the green jackets and the Yellowstones with hammer in the 5th. And it's going to be their lead, Alex Gallant, coming in to try and draw in behind the red stone. A little bit of a clean right now coming from the team. Waiting for it to start to curl, and looks like it's starting to break, so then PEI is starting to get on it. Try to get it buried. Can they get it buried? And it comes up just a tiny bit light. Still can see about 3/4 of the stone. And Jones will be looking to get a little bit of a hit and roll in behind. We've seen it early in this game. Once the rock hits the center line, really starts to break. So we'll see if New Brunswick will be able to jump on it as soon as it starts to go. Marine jumping the gun a little early, expecting that curl so they know it. They're staying close, no problems. Get on the outside, a little bit of a roll. It'll hit just the nose. Now half of the stone's buried, but PEI will still be able to get to it. And looks like we're going to be seeing a hitting game here in this end. Usually comes down to who will make that first mistake. They want to catch the outside and roll over to the left side. They want to roll away from that guard. And that's what they're going to do. We'll hang around. Gallant's throw, beautiful throw there from Gallant. Still able to keep the shooter on. That's exactly what they wanted. Keep it away from the guard, and that's exactly what they'll do. And that's going to force a very wide takeout here for Marine. There is a takeout that is difficult on a clear takeout. These are the toughest one to make. Looks to be fine right on. Might get a little bit of a roll back in towards the middle. And it's just going to go bounce around into the 8-foot. And PEI is very happy just keeping the rock away from, as far away from the guard as they can. It's going to be Dylan Vincent here. They're second on this PEI team. Both these teams in the first half did use 1 timeout. Both of them are just under the 15-minute mark, have used half of their thinking time so far, so might have to keep an eye on that as the game progresses. That's going to roll. It's still going to bite out on the outside, so PEI is just going to try and make it as difficult as they can for Marine to make these takeouts. Over on sheet number 4, looks like a pickup of 4 for the host Montague team. They have a considerable lead against Newfoundland over in the women's action. He gets a hit. Are they going to be able to stick around? Gets a nice little roll, and they will stick around. Great control weight there from Marine. He's hitting the takeouts, and that's what you expect from your second. They got to be able to make those takeouts with no problems, and that's what we're seeing between Marine and Vincent right here. Both of them are controlling the game very well and really not making any mistakes. This one's hanging a bit on the outside. Looks like it's just going to peel away, and we're going to have a clean house now. For Smeltzer to try and draw in behind. He has an opportunity now to get in behind that red guard. This is the opportunity they were looking for. They want to get it buried, but they don't want it poking out too much. They would probably rather have it over curl even, over and sticking out the right side than they do on the inside. A lot of ice given there. Will it cover that much length? And that's what we're going to see right now. That one will come in. That one will just come to the 12, but maybe they thought it would curl a lot more because that was a lot of ice there. Maybe he was outside of the broom there, but it was a lot of ice when he let it go to try and get behind the guard. And it was, we'll see now, just a straight takeout attempt here from Wilkins, Jacob Wilkins, who's made some very fantastic takeout shots here. We'll try and do that hit and roll. Looking for the roll here. Let's see. Did he get the roll? Look at that. And that's what we've been seeing all game from Wilkins. He's been able to get that takeout, nice little rolls, and he gets that very nicely buried right in behind the guard, and it's still counting. So Smeltzer will get a second opportunity on the draw here. With a little bit less ice, it looks like they're giving him. A little clean outside of his hand. Waiting for it to start to break. It's starting to come in now, and the New Brunswick's really starting to take it. Really cutting in quickly. They get it past their first guard. Will it get past the yellow? It doesn't look like he'll get past the yellow and just bump it back a little bit. They will sit, though, and hang it around, but it will be an open takeout here from Wilkins, who looks like he's just going to want to split the rings here, get a hit and roll over to the left side, keep it as far away from his other Yellowstone. PEI does have the hammer here in this fifth end, sitting in a pretty good position. Want to make sure they don't roll out, and they're just going to hit the nose. They weren't too comfortable with the roll there, just based on the amount of weight that was thrown, so they just made sure they got that nose. And we're up to the skip shots here. Liam Marine, going against two Yellowstones. Got to get hit and get buried if he can.
Final call for 50-50. The winner's pot right now is $63.
A lot of weight coming in here from Marine. Maybe he's looking for the double. A lot of weight here. Gonna catch the inside. Where is it gonna catch after the inside? 1, 2, and he gets it. The shooter will roll away, but a great shot there from Marine, able to clear away both Yellowstones, and he just relieved all the pressure New Brunswick had on them. PEI did have the hammer here, so here comes Noy, skip of this PEI team. He's going to try and draw in and get in behind the red guard. Knows how difficult that right side is, so he Yeah, he just asked for much less ice, knowing how straight it is, and try and curl him behind. And if he does under curl, it's going to be a difficult takeout to make for Marine on his final shot. So good call here from this PI skip. Over on sheet number 4, the host Montague team did pick up 3 more, and they now have a considerably high lead against Newfoundland over in the women's action. They're just going to play out this 6th end here before they do handshakes. And over on sheet number 1, looks like we might have a tie game there between Newfoundland and the host Montague Club over in the men's action. And on the women's side, on sheet number 2, PEI was able to pick up a deuce, and they are now down 3-2 to New Brunswick in the women's action. Over on sheet number 2, you can watch that, of course, on Belline Community 1 as well if you want to watch both games. Comes Liam Marine, trying to see if he can get up to that Yellowstone. It is behind the tee line, so he can try and draw up to it, but it has to be a good one, because if he does come up short, and PEI will be able to remove it and sit 2 here, so it's got to be a good shot. Being heavy is not terrible here for him as well. Here comes Liam's shot. Waiting for it to curl a little more. This one's running straight. We've seen this problem happen a lot on this side. And will it go right and through? Let's see. This one just didn't get through, doesn't get a piece, and that's going to go right through the house. And again, that is why Noy threw that second last shot on that side. He knew if he undercurled, it would be a very difficult shot to try and remove, and we just saw why right there. Ice is running very straight on that right side, and that just happened again for Liam Marine, and he just could not curl that back inside. And now Noy has the same opportunity here to try and draw for 2. He's going to take the exact same shot that he just threw for his last shot. Since he just threw it, knows where it will end up. He just needs a piece of the paint. Check that the score is just updated over on sheet number 1, so the host Montague team has taken the lead by 1 against Newfoundland. It's 4-3 over on sheet number 1 in men's action. No indication that they're going to get on the sweep right now. Got to make sure they get a piece of the paint. They look just fine. And that'll go into the 8-foot. Great job in there from Leslie Noy. And they will take the lead right back here at the Under-18 Atlantic Curling Championships here in Montague, PEI. PEI takes the lead 4-2. Little jokes about the 50-50 right now. The winner is from the Montague Curling Club. Now New Brunswick will have the hammer here. Ideally, that's what you would want in the 6th end. Down by 2 here. Trying to see if they can pick up their deuce. Force PEI to 1 and pick up a deuce and 8. And that looks to be the plan right now for New Brunswick. And this guard comes in a little bit heavy for PEI. That's going to go right onto the button. Gets a piece of it. Gives the guy $500,000. Almost $1 million shot right there. Comes up a little bit heavy, though. And Marine's just going to ignore it. Set up his corner guard. Comes Brendan Jones' shot. He's looking to go to St. Francis Xavier University next year to do nursing. Sets up a nice corner guard. Exactly how they would set it up. And Hanoi is just going to set up that central guard now. They did this last couple ends ago, actually, on Gallant's last shot when he came up heavy on the first one. Set up a guard here, and that really controlled the tone of the rest of the end by having a perfect guard around their nice shot in the house. This one's coming up a little heavy as well. Showing for a little curl. It's going to be a very tight guard. Might actually get a piece of the rings. And that one I can't tell, but that one looks like it might be. That one is touching. Corner Marine, just so close to a tight guard. But a great line there coming from Gallant. Just couldn't hold it. New Brunswick also has to keep wary about the time clock right now. Just over 10 minutes left to go. And shouldn't be any issues, but want to save that extra thinking time if it is a tight game later and the future ends. Hard right out of his hand. This one's really starting to break. Now it's just, are they going to get a piece of it? They want to get on the inside roll. Going to run the nose. Runs it back. And will knock over the Yellowstone to the left side. So it does leave it exposed. And does remove one Yellowstone. So nice little play right in there. Good second opportunity. But it does leave the shooter on the center guard, which is not, New Brunswick does not want with the hammer. They don't want anything in the middle. And PEI is going to use this opportunity to try and draw for two. Looks like they're saying it's a little heavy. It looks a little heavy coming out of his hand right now, but it might run into the red guard, so they might have to sweep it just to make sure that they don't wreck against the guard. But I think they waited a little bit too long. Just a tiny bit of bump. We'll knock the red one into the rings. We'll split off and get theirs into the rings as well. They'll set two. And it actually guards their second Yellowstone very nicely. But if they do hit it on a nice angle, can remove both yellows and get a roll. And that seems to be the plan here for Felipe Marine. And PEI putting the pressure down right now. Let's see if New Brunswick can get themselves out of it. A lot of weight being thrown in here. Looks a bit outside right now, waiting for it to cut in. The sweepers are staying close, but it looks like it might just hit the nose. And I'll actually catch the outside, just didn't curl back in. And we'll move that Yellowstone that was just thrown. And Noy just doesn't want any red rocks in, so he's just going to ask for removal of the redstone. Vincent hasn't thrown many draws so far as well. He's thrown a lot of takeouts this game, so give him something he's more comfortable with. Just get that hit and roll over, remove the stone. This one is outside, out of his hand. Looks like it's going directly for the corner guard. And that's just going to peel away the corner guard. He was outside as he let it go, and this presents an opportunity now. One shot always can change the entire end here, so all of a sudden, New Brunswick has an opportunity to hit and stick to sit two. And we have handshakes over on sheet number 4 on the women's side as the host team from PEI did take down Newfoundland in the women's action. Both these teams will play again this afternoon. Newfoundland will go against New Brunswick, while the hosts will go against Nova Scotia in the women's action. You can watch their game on sheet number 2 at 2:30. So a nice little hit and stick right there. And now PEI is going to try and hit and see if they can get a little bit of a roll from Wilkins, who has done a great job of that so far in this game. But this one, too much weight and is just going to peel away. Did he get enough of it now? He's trying to take it as far as he can, and he did with the amount of weight he threw. So we'll knock it away, but it does give an opportunity now. New Brunswick just going to try and split the rings here and add a second red stone. Doesn't seem like any panic coming from their team right now. They want to curl more. Now they got to get on it. Did they wait a little? They were fine. Looks like they're fine. Want to make it more difficult to remove. And they'll sit very nicely just halfway on the 12-foot over on the left side. And Noy's going to point right back at it. Wilkins is going to get a second chance to try and see if he can hit this one again. This one looks again hit, and his is just going to roll out. Couldn't hold the shooter. And we're going to see another carbon copy of the exact same shot here for Smeltzer. So Wilkins talking with Noy right now, noticing something about the ice, maybe some under curl or asking for some less ice on his next shots. Seeing some stuff that they might recognize when Leslie comes up to take his shots. This one's coming in. Nope, seems pretty good right now. They should get on it, though. They're hopping on it, trying to take it as far as they can. They hopped on it at the right time. Good timing right there from the Scipolini Marine. And they'll sit exactly the same spot. Now we're going to get up to the skip shots now. Looking for the hit here is Noy. Hard on the sweep right now. Did they wait? They gave less ice knowing that Wilkins' shot didn't curl as much. And they just caught the inside looking for the roll here. And a little confusion there between the two if they should sweep or not. And that's going to get nicely actually buried in behind. Perfect hit and roll. Couldn't place it any better for the PEI skip. Up here on Liam Marine's skip shot right here. Looks like he's going to try and draw right up above the tee line, getting behind. If he does come in heavy, though, can bump the yellow one out. So it does have the options here. Most importantly, just do not want to come up light here. Comes Marine on this draw. And he's probably gotta keep an eye on New Brunswick's gotta keep an eye on their time clock a little bit in the next end. It's kind of really close now with 2 ends left to go. This one's really coming in quickly. Looks like it might split the red guard. This one he comes up light here, and it will split away, try to open up, and it's just going to come up and sit right on top of the 12-foot. Just came up a little light on the draw. Opportunity here for Noy. He's just going to sit 2 right now and force New Brunswick 4 single here in 6. Taking his time. Gonna try and curl around to the left side of the house. Keep his rocks far apart. Does not want to be shot stone with this one here. Just wants to sit for the second shot. This one has some weight to it. Ideally, though, New Brunswick probably should just leave this one alone. This one's going to go move back a little bit. And that's not the ideal situation that PEI wanted there. They want to sit second shot. They are, but it still leaves it open since it's behind the T line. Just a hit and stick, and they probably will be shot stone. Borley and Marine here. Gonna try and pick up the single and cut this lead for PEI in half. Final shot here for Lynn Marine here in the 6th end. Hoping to try and see he gets the single, but this is coming up light. The Supers really got to take it as far as they can. Smeltzer might have to join up and try and sweep with them. And this one will come up light. And it'll be a steal of 2 for PEI. And they'll increase their lead 6-2 here against New Brunswick here at the Under-18 Atlantic Curling Championships here in Montague, PEI. They're in a very tight game between these two. And this is going to put New Brunswick, they got the hammer in 7. Got to look to get at least a deuce here if they want to get themselves back into this game. That'll be Alex Galland here coming out of the Alberton Curling Club for this PEI team. Trying to see if they can take home their first victory of this spiel. All PI's plan, get rocks into the rings and remove any red stones. That is going to be the plan for PEI right now. As this one will just, they'll throw it right through the rings. Looks like PEI just does not even want any rocks in the rings. They just want to get it as open as possible. So PEI wouldn't be too upset if they gave up a single or a deuce here and have the hammer coming home. But that's going to be their plan. They don't want to give up more than 2 in this 7th end. Brendan Jones is going to come up and set up this corner guard. As looking over on sheet number 2 in the women's action, PEI has taken the lead over New Brunswick. They now lead 4-3 over on the women's action. Close game over there as well. And she won's close game as well, as it looks like the host team is up by 1 against Newfoundland over in men's action sheet number 1. So 3 very close games left to go here in draw number 3. Make sure you come back though and tune in with us here on Bellline Community 1 at 2:30 p.m. for draw number 4. So we're seeing Nova Scotia against the host Montague side. Going to be a very tight game as both teams look to see if they can propel themselves into the gold medal game. Because if the host Montague team does win in the men's side, I believe that game will decide who automatically will qualify for the gold medal game. So should be a very exciting one this afternoon. Jones coming up with some weight here. Gonna go right up to the Yellowstone. Doesn't seem like it wants to curl though. And it just lost the handle. Yeah.
Through the outer.
Yeah, it did. So not where they wanted to end up though. Want to curl much more. And Vincent will have a straight takeout here. Vincent looks like he's right on the money here. Doesn't want his rock to stay in. Just gonna peel it away. And Felipe Marine just mentioned that doesn't like coming on that side. Wants to curl around on the opposite side. Throwing the intern. This one's coming a little heavy, and that's just going to go right in through the house. That one didn't slow down. And it looks like that last end for New Brunswick seems to gotten their heads a little bit. So it looks like they just seem to have lost it, and you could just see it on the faces right now. They got to get themselves, they got to get their heads back into the game, does New Brunswick, if they want to see if they can get back into this one. And we'll have just a peel away of the red guard. And it'll be a clean, wide open house now, just with the one yellow stone. Try and get it up right up to the yellow. Coming right up to it. And that is a way to rebound right there. That's what we've been looking for, Felipe. That's how you get your mindset right back in. Nice draw played in. And Wilkins will just be asked to explode it looks like. Remove both stones. Heavy peel weight coming in here from Wilkins. Hard on the sweep here. Let's see where everything ends up. Knocks everything around, and that's what we've seen all game with Wilkins. His shooter rolls out as well. Perfect scenario for him. And he's really been the star of the game right now for this PEI team. Has really just changed the ends. Has made his shots, and he's done very well for this PEI team. Smeltzer will be asked to draw over to the outside of the rings, make Wilkins' second shot much more difficult on the takeouts. This one seems light coming out of his hand, but sweepers think it's okay. Starting to get on it now. And just a corner guard instead of getting into the rings. Just going to be a peel away here for Wilkins. Catch the edge, rolls away, no problem on the peel. Wide open. Gotta look to maybe draw into the rings here, though. Can't be setting up a guard. So it looks like it's going to be another guard, though, for New Brunswick. Just going to be that corner guard, hoping that Noe will miss this one and see if they can draw him behind. But I feel like New Brunswick just has to get in the rings here, just because they need a deuce here. So even if they do miss one and they draw him behind, it'd still only get them the one. Leslie Noy coming in here just to do the first peel. First of his two shots. Hard out of the hand. Catches the edge, no problem. Gets the peel away. And PEI's hitting game has been strong, and that's really been the difference so far. Now we're going to start to see Liam. Now he's going to try and draw into the rings now to get to the outside. Back corner, make it as difficult as he can. And hope that Leslie misses his shot. Comes Liam, looks a little bit slow coming out of his hand. Sweepers seem like it looked fine though. Now they're going to start to take it. How far back can they take it? Might be the time. Now we'll just catch the corner, but on those type of situations, if you're going to be holding the broom, probably come in, give your teammates a third broom to help in the sweep there. You know the line's there. Try and help them out if they can. No, all he's got to do is hit away. Doesn't mind a stick even, hit and stick. Force some pressure on Liam on his last shot. Easy clean right now. Now PEI is trying to get on it. Come up right on it, hit, and it's going to roll away to the outside. Still in, but it's not in the rings. And New Brunswick's got to make a decision here. Do they want the 1 point or do they want the blank and just keep the hammer in the 8th? Final shot here for Marine. Looks like he's just going to throw this one in through. And they'll pick up the blank here in 7. And New Brunswick's got a battle on their hands here as they're down by 4 against PEI. With the hammer coming home here at the Under-18 Atlantic Curling Championships here in Montague. PEI, make sure you know you join us again at 2:30 for draw number 4 action here on Bellline Community 1, your local leader in sports webcasting in Atlantic Canada. Got some tight games going over on sheet number 1. The hosts are tied with Newfoundland 4-4. They're playing in the 7th right now. And PEI's clinging to their 1-point lead against New Brunswick over in number 7. Escalante just throw the first one in through. We're up by 4. Just their goal is just eliminate every single rock possible. Comes Jones with his first attempt, trying to set up that corner guard. And he's done a very good job as a lead today, setting up his team very well, putting his guards in a good position. Just hasn't seemed to work out for them this morning, though. And Glenn's just going to throw another one right in through the house. Jones going to set up the other corner guard on the other side now. As this game starts to wind down, New Brunswick's got to hope for a miss here from someone. Gotta sweep this one hard, get this one over the hog line. They are able to get a hog line, just it's gonna be a very high guard. And now we're gonna start to see the peel game here coming in from PEI. They're gonna just start to remove all these red stones. Clearing away, no problem on the peel. Rolls away, doesn't keep the shooter. That's what you want. Vincent coming out of your second. He's making those peels look like no problem. Replacing that corner guard now is Felipe. And this one comes in a little bit deeper. Might find itself into the rings, and it will. And that's going to be put on the broom right away by Noy. Vincent once again coming in for the peel attempt. Just an easy clean right now. Looks to be right on it. Rolls away the shooter. Wilkins makes sure of that. And we have a clean house once again. Another corner guard's going to be placed off. It's always tough to decide when should they finally start to come in, but they're slowly running out of rocks here. And they should maybe start to draw in after this one. Nice little corner guard being placed there. And right away. Right away, PEI is going to point at it. Wilkins more comfortable coming out on the other side, so he's just going to switch that up. And he's just going to throw the peel attempt. Once again, lots of weight. He knows how to throw it. No problem. Knocks it away. Shooter rolls out. And this looks like they're going to set up one more corner guard, but they need... They got to... Yeah, there we go. They got to... Now they got to draw one in. Got to get each one of these to start counting. Update over on sheet number 2 in the women's action. New Brunswick was able to pick up 3 and 7, and they now hold a 2-point lead against PEI. They're in the 8th end over. And this one is diving quickly, able to get a bye. Now they got to sweep it, get it buried. They got a nicely buried, very nice drop put in there by Smeltzer. And it's just going to be another peel away of the guard here for Wilkins. He's going to peel away that top high guard. Got to make sure they roll away the shooter. Shooter will hang around. And all New Brunswick can do right now is just keep adding into the rings and hope PEI misses. Nice little easy clean right now coming in. And I'll sit over on the left side. Around behind. Really, can they hang on to it? Oh, was it a little too much? And just a tiny bit too much. And it'll be handshakes here on sheet number 3. And PEI are able to pick up their first victory here at the Under-18 Atlantic Curling Championships here at Montague PEI. And it's PEI will improve to 1-2. New Brunswick will drop to 1-1 as this race to see who will go into the finals just became much more interesting. Make sure to join us back here at 2:30 here for draw number 4 at the Under-18 Athletics. Has been Martin Ohms here for Battle Line Community 1. We'll see you guys later.